Hey class, and welcome to this week's lesson, Lesson 7. Last week during Lesson 6, you got to know a little bit about your teammates. Now the real teamwork begins. So this week will be kind of your first official assignment that you'll be doing as part of this group project. Hopefully you've built a good way of communicating. You're learning how to work together as a group. This will kind of be that first test. I will tell you this, it is difficult. Group work is never that easy. Sometimes it's almost easier just to do things by yourself, but that's not the purpose of the assignments. Okay, that's one thing to remember as we go through this group project is not only about getting the assignments correct, it's about working together as a team and submitting assignments as a team. That's probably more important than making sure that you get the assignments correct. So, with that, when talking about submitting and stuff, one of those things that coming together as a team is that each week when you submit your assignment, only one person will be able to submit. Once one person from the team has submitted, nobody else is able to submit. Now, I will say this, if you submit your assignment and you realize you messed up on something and you want to resubmit it, that's fine. You can still do that, just like you would on your own personal assignments. I know some of you have had that where you submit it early in the week and then you realize, I wish I would have said this or changed this. So then you go back and you resubmit it. That's fine. That's totally fine if you want to do that, but it has to be the same person. So one of the things you'll be doing as a group to kick off the week will be assigning who is that person, who is going to be responsible for submitting our file at the end of the week. Okay? Now talking about the file, let's move on to that. One thing with this semester project that you'll see, and you'll read about this and hear about it as you go through the stuff, but I'll just kind of reiterate it here real quick, is that you'll be using the same file for the entire project. So on the Excel file at the bottom, there's tabs, and it actually says like week 7, week 8. So you'll want to make sure that you keep using that same file each week because it builds on each other. Stuff that you do in week 7, you're going to need during week 9. So stuff you do in week 8, you're going to need in week 9. Like you're going to need everything that you do. So it's nice to keep it all together, have one single file. That'll make it easiest for you, so try and do that. The big thing of this week, what you'll be working on and you'll learn is unit conversions. You're going to be doing this in Excel though, so that's kind of nice because it does the calculations for you, but you got to set up the spreadsheet correctly. What I recommend for that, there is a really good tutorial video that Pathway has created. Watch that video. If you have any questions as you're going through your sheet, refer to that video. It will help you out tremendously. It'll make it so that you can get the assignment done. Now one thing I do want to talk about real quick, just as you do this group work, I know that you're only going to be submitting one file, but don't make that think that the person that is submitting the file is the one that has to do all the work. Okay? So just because they're the one submitting it doesn't mean it has to be their work. It could be other people that are working on it and then they send the file to that person and then that person submits it. I would also encourage each of you to probably try and work on it yourself. I mean, maybe, you'll see that it's kind of lengthy, everything you have to fill out. Maybe you don't fill out the whole thing by yourself, but I would try and at least fill out a portion of it. So that way you kind of, more or less, you're starting to learn how to use Excel. Maybe you're not familiar with Excel. So it'll get you in that kind of teaching those skills, which is a big part of this class as well. You want to learn those skills. So even if you're not the person submitting, highly recommend you to probably keep your own file and work through it on yourself and then share what you learned and what you figured out with your team. It also, if you've got a couple people working on it, it's like, well, I got this answer and I got this answer. You could kind of see how you got a different answer, right? Working as a team together, that's what's going to be key. So that's it for the group project this week. Hopefully everything goes okay. Feel free to reach out to me with questions if you have any. Math this week actually, and for the next couple weeks, kind of goes along with the group project, which is nice. And math this week, we're going to continue talking about unit conversions. We were working on it last week. We're going to continue working on it this week. So if you would like, and what I recommend, probably do the math first. Okay, get through the math portion, get yourself more comfortable with doing unit conversions, then switch over to doing the group project. And it's just going to be even more practice. So that's what I've got for you this week. It's kind of nice now that we moved in the group project. Each week you're going to be focusing on the two things. There's always going to be stuff to do with the group project, and then there's always going to be math. And that's what we have going forward for the next few weeks. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out, and have a great week. Bye.